Hi everyone, I'm Sandy, and I thought today I would bring to you my October reading plans. I continue to refuse to call it a TBR just because I don't know for sure I'm going to make it through some of these books in October. I didn't think I had a huge amount of stuff stacked up for October, and then when I started compiling the list of books, it got very big very quickly. So I'm going to call it reading plans, pile of possibilities, things I would like to pick up, all of those. So I was also doing before my wrap-ups and my planning videos all in one, and it just became too much, and I felt like I was talking really fast through it. So I've decided to break them apart. So today will just be my October reading plans. So the first thing that's going on in October is Victober. So Victober is hosted by 3 different booktubers. The first one is Kate Howe. The second one is Lucy at Lucy the Reader. And the third one is Katie at Books and Things. Sorry about that. So yeah, Katie at Books and Things is the third host, and they have set a number of prompts for this, and each one has a different one. I sadly, of course, did not plan out my October reading very well, so I cannot do all of the prompts. They do have a group read scheduled, which is Gothic Tales, and I actually was able to get it at the library, so we will say that that will be the first one. I would love to try and read some stories out of that for Victober. I don't know that I will be able to read all of them with the group, but at least if I can read a couple of them, because I believe they're fairly short stories, and hopefully I can actually manage a couple of those. But the book that I am reading for Victober is going to end. I have all my books over here. The book I am reading for Victober is a group read with a number of booktubers that will be done on Voxer, and the book that we are reading, oh boy, it's a brick, is Bleak House by Charles Dickens. We will be taking the entire month of October to read this. We do kind of have a semi-schedule in there. I may start reading this in the next couple of days just to get ahead a little bit, because my copy of this has 940 pages in it approximately. There's a whole bunch of notes at the end. I've only read a couple of Dickens novels. I am not familiar with this one at all. It says, Bleak House defies a single description. It is a mystery story in which Esther Summerson discovers the truth about her birth and her unknown mother's tragic life. That's all I'm going to read about the back of it. But I'm excited to read this one. I'm especially excited to read it with a group of people. It is on my 2021, no, sorry, it is on my 1001 list. It is not on my 2021 list, but that will be my first group read that I will be doing in the month of October. And as far as Victober, other Victober reads, I mean, I certainly have other books I could pull from. I do have Cranford, which would fulfill the, I believe one of the prompts was a woman protagonist. I believe that one would qualify for that. I also have Woman in White, which I think would qualify for a popular novel maybe, but it's very unlikely that I would get to those. So I think that will be my Victober pick. And then we'll just go on to additional buddy reads and group reads that I have scheduled in October. First one, the first buddy read, group read that I have is actually for The Tin Flute by Gabrielle Roy. And this was a book that was recommended by Elizabeth at Bookins and Books. And Shelley Swearingen and Stephanie Cohen, who is an avid commenter, and Sonia Devaney, who is also a commenter and someone I know actually in real life, are reading this in the month of October. I'm very excited to read this one. I don't know much about it, but I love the group that is together to discuss this book. Hi, editing me here. I completely forgot to mention that this lovely copy was actually a gift from Shelley Swearingen. So thank you so much, Shelley, for sending me this. I cannot believe I forgot about mentioning that when holding up the book, but very kind of you to send me this copy. So thank you so much. It says in here, by the way, this copy, look at how just old this copy looks. There's weirdly no publishing information in it in this one, but it says The Tin Flute introduces a distinguished talent talent to the American reading public. Gabrielle Roy has written an endlessly fascinating and satisfying novel of modern French-Canadian life. The Tin Flute tells the story of the large Lacasse, Lacasse, family who live precariously and in poverty in the Saint Henri quarter of Montreal. So very exciting. Oh, this would have also followed for the Q prompt. I didn't realize this one was in Montreal, but that's all I know about this particular book. It is on my 1001 book list as well. So that will be book 2 on my pile of possibility reading plans. Probably happening though, because group reads and buddy reads, I definitely prioritize those up. The next one that I am reading is Hawksmoor by Peter Ackroyd. I will be reading this with Alice and the Giant Bookshelf and Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads. He is currently unpacking his library after his recent move, so we're hoping he can actually find this book in order to read it with us by the kind of the timeline. We will be starting this somewhere around the middle of the month, and this one just says, London in the 18th century is a city of extremes. Squalor and superstition vie with elegance and enlightenment as the capital's brilliant architect Nicholas Dyer is commissioned to build several new churches in the aftermath of the Great Fire. So it sounds interesting. It is also on my 1001 book list, but not on my 2021 list. Then the next one, have some flexibility around in October, which is a buddy read with my husband, which is The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. This is a Vietnam War story, I believe. I got this at Half Price Books, and top tip, I screwed up and did not flip through this book before buying it, and it has a whole bunch of highlights and stuff in it, which I personally do not enjoy very much. So I'm debating whether or not I want to get another copy or if I just want to try and power my way through. But since this one is with my husband, hopefully I can talk him into reading it a little bit more at the end of the month. This one's actually on my 2021 list as well as the 1001 book countdown. So I do want to read this one in October. And along with that, because this one is a Vietnam War novel, I have a World War I novel in Under Fire by, I believe, Henri Barbusse. Yikes. But that particular book is a World War I war novel, so I would like to be able to read this one and then read that one. So that one will be my next book for my 2021 list that I would like to read. I'm not drawing anymore, or at least for this month, because I really want to be able to pick a few of the books. But that one, I have some flexibility on when I start this, so I can work it in where I have time. For the rest of the 2021 list, so I've talked about The Things They Carry, and I talked about Under Fire, which are 2 from my 2021 list. I do have 2 books checked out from the library right now, and I would like to get to them before I have to take them back. The first one is American Pastoral by Philip Roth. This one is a Pulitzer Prize winning novel, and I think I have read this one before. It doesn't have to be back at the library for a little bit, but it is a Pulitzer winner, so I would like to try and fit this one in October before it has to go back to the library. And then the other Pulitzer winner that's on my 2021 list is this very exciting looking book, which is actually The Optimist's Daughter by Eudora Welty. If this is as exciting as that's going to get. This one is a fairly short book. It's also a Pulitzer winner, so I'd love to be able to read 2 Pulitzer winners in October, and that would be my 4. So I have 3, plus the 4th one, which is a library book online. That would be my 2021 picks for October. Okay, so the rest of the books are either buddy reads or group reads, or read-alongs that are not on my 1001 book list. So the first one is, there is a read-along going on of Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel. This is being, there's a group of people, which includes Jolene at Bookworm Adventure Girl, and AJ Dunn Reads and Writes, and then a couple of subscribers, I believe, are in there, and I'm still trying to figure out if I have time to fit this one in. I really want to, because there's a Zoom call that happens every week, and those are so much fun. Oh, and Shelley Swearingen, I believe, is in this one. So it is a really fun way to talk about books, and I did that with Northanger Abbey with AJ and with Deborah and with Jolene, and we had so much fun chatting, and I would love to be able to chat with them again. So I'm still trying to figure out if I can do it. I have read this once before. I don't remember a lot about it, but Wolf Hall is one still on the pile of maybe in there. I also have I'm part of the Humorous Book Club, which is hosted by Mark over at Book Time with Elvis. Last month we read Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole, and this month we are reading The Diary of a Nobody. And so this one is thankfully very, very short and is actually on my 1001 book list. I'm excited about this one just because it's supposed to be really funny and it is very, very short. The font in the back is in this red block, so I can't really read it too easily. My eyesight is not what it used to be, so I can't really read what the summary of the book is about. This is another one that I got this one through Thrift Books, and there's underlines in it. First time that's happened with Thrift Books. The half price books is my own fault because I did not flip through it, but this is the first time this happened from Thrift Books. So yeah, but The Diary of a Nobody. I think we have pretty much the whole month of October to read this, so I'll see where I can fit this one in. I would like to read this, and it is on the 1001 book list, even though I said none of these were. And then I am part of a book club at work with a few of my coworkers, and this month it was my pick, and what I picked was Kindred by Octavia Butler. I have wanted to read this one for a very long time. I understand there's a time travel component where she ends up traveling back in time, and the story, I've already read the prologue, and I just have a feeling this is going to break my heart. So sorry to my book club at work for picking a sad book if this turns out to be that sad, but I am so incredibly excited to read this. I probably will actually read most of this weekend, but Kindred by Octavia Butler is for my work book club. And then I am starting a my first buddy read with Marilyn Maya Mendoza, or the Baby Boomer Booktuber, and we are going to read How Green Was My Valley by Richard Llewellyn. And we just started talking about this basically today, and we'll start reading the first chapters well before October starts. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be reading with Marilyn. And so this one says, Hugh Morgan is about to leave home forever. As a huge slag heap has crept down menacingly upon his childhood home, he reminisces about the golden days of his youth when South Wales still prospered and when coal dust had not yet blackened the valley. Drawn simply and lovingly with a crisp Welsh humor, Llewellyn's characters fight, love, laugh, and cry, creating an indelible portrait of a people that will live long in the reader's memory. So that one should be interesting. It's a bit longer than I was anticipating, so we'll see how we do, but the font is actually pretty big in this one, so I have a feeling it will go faster than I think it will. And then I am doing my first buddy read with Joe Loves to Read as well this month. We selected this one almost 2 months ago, and it finally came that we're doing it now in October, and that is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. I can't get the sticker off without ripping it, and it's annoying me, but I can't get the sticker off. And so this one is exploring the psychological dynamics of the relationship between a precocious yet naive teenage girl and her magnetic and manipulative teacher, a brilliant, all-consuming read that marks the explosive debut of an extraordinary new writer. So I've seen this kind of all over BookTube. I am very excited to read it, to see what this one's all about. I've heard some mixed reviews at different points, but it'll be great to read my first buddy read with Joe as well. So looking very, very forward to that. I asked her if we could start this more towards the middle of the month rather than at the beginning. And then the last thing, why Steve Donahue and Matthew at Maryberry Book Club are hosting a Dune readathon, and Steve basically told me I need to do it, and it was on my Mooks and Gripes bucket list book tag video as well, and so I will be reading Dune in October, and I think it's a volume a week of this book, which doesn't sound too horribly awful, but when you look at the big stack I have, like I said, I thought I had a more reasonable October, and then my stack happened, and I went, I don't know how I managed to do that. So let's hope for some nice rainy weekend days where all I want to do is stay inside and read, because that's the only way I'm going to get some of these read. But Dune, I'm not going to go into what a synopsis of Dune is. I have tried to read this no less than 3 times and not been successful. And so, yeah, wish me luck. I just don't know. But hopefully having a read along with those two will help me actually accomplish this one. We'll see. But I think, that's all, just those. Yikes. It is a lot. And so I'm trying, like I said, I think the one with my husband and my 1001 book list, I have some flexibility in moving those around a little bit. Some of the books, if it's a buddy read in a book or a group read, we kind of have a schedule. The one book I am most concerned about is Bleak House because it is so massive, and I haven't had the best reading relationship with Dickens, so I'm hopeful that that one goes well, but I'm still a little nervous about it. So let me know what you think of any of these books. You can tell me in the comments how completely insane this pile of possibilities is, which I completely recognize and acknowledge. Yeah, I hope I can get through some of them. I have found that I do not like reading more than 2 or 3 books at a time. And so once I hit that, I'm really hitting my limit. And I'm worried I'm going to have like 4 at a time this time, which I can usually do. But I just feel like I have way too much to try and fit in a day, and then switching contexts and trying to remember it is a little difficult. That is my October reading plans, yeah, we're just gonna go with that and hope I can, like I said, I doubt I'll be picking anything else up for Victober just because I have so much on my plate already. As much as I would love to read Women in Red White or Cranford or any of the other ones, I just don't think it's possible. So it's a bummer. Maybe if I wasn't working. Can I just not work? That'd be great. And with that, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, everyone, thanks. Bye.